Everything you want is on the other side of fear. Jack Canfield. Welcome to Flourish, where we explore how to nurture, coach, and inspire the next generation, our precious children, for success and let their genius blossom. I'm your host, Diane Planadin, and I wanted to talk about fear today because, whoa, I don't know what's going on, but everyone's afraid. Everyone doesn't know what to do. Everyone's thinking thoughts that are literally instilling fear inside of them, and then you reflect on others. So I think it's really important to think about ideas of having no fear. Stare fear straight in the eyes and say, no, I am not afraid. As a parent, educator, or one of those supersonic influencers out there, you need to be fearless, not only for yourself, but for those around you, for those you influence, for those who look up to you for guidance. And that includes the young minds of our future, our children. Actually, you probably already know someone who, is fearless. Or you've probably heard of somebody who's fearless. And you're like, wow, how did they do that? I want to do that. What? What? That's amazing. And I could give you hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of examples of people who stared fear straight in the eyes. Well, there's not enough time for that. Plus, this is about you. This is about how you can make a difference and how you can really get fearless. Because you don't have to be famous. You don't have to be a philosopher. You don't have to be someone with a PhD to be fearless. You really don't. And after all, isn't fear just false evidence appearing real? Yes, I'm using a little bit of an acronym there. And I'm going to use the word fear to take us on a journey in moving forward. Yes, forward. I want you to think about your own situation. What's holding you back? What's the fear? Because fear usually grows from the unknown. And I know the unknown is how we stretch and think and be and do and grow. But not when it comes to fear. Honestly, it really doesn't. And I think Franklin Roosevelt said it best in his inaugural speech. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Now I want you to think about that. This man said this in the 30s during the deep, deep depression. And whoa, what's happening? Is history repeating itself? It's one of those things where you have to constantly remind yourself, because we're all humans, we're all human beings, and it's our human nature. This is natural. This is not something that you have to think, oh, this is weird. I'm weird. No, you're not weird. You're human. And it's okay to be afraid. It's okay to be fearful. And it's okay to know how to deal with that. As I mentioned, I'm going to use the word fear. So F. Most people think, failure. And it's the F word in modern day society. I am sorry to say. People fear failure. And therefore, never try anything new. Never take a leap of faith, a leap of trust in yourself. And as a result, become complacent. Become robots. Become like, nothing new today. Woo, I'm safe. And that's really not how it should work, because looking forward to the future is far more powerful, far more inspiring, and an effective way to meet each day. I have learned over the years that when one's mind is made up, this diminishes fear. Knowing what must be done does away with fear. That's a quote from Rosa Parks. And I really do hope you're familiar with her, because she is a woman who experienced fear daily, and firsthand, and yet made up her mind to do what was right. Because that's never the wrong decision, is it? She made up her mind to do what was right, and she was focused on being a model citizen. She was focused and therefore fearless. Let that digest for a moment. Emotion. Here we go again. Emotion rules our actions. We feel them first. We do. And it's part of our communication, and that's a good thing. But sometimes it can lead us down a rabbit hole. It really can. And that rabbit hole might be so deep we can't climb out of it. Empathy. Empathy is even more powerful. And it's an emotion that you can put into motion. Put yourself in somebody else's shoes. Explore the possibilities and do not fear the unknown. Practice. Take a deep breath and rule your emotions. It only takes 90 seconds. I'm not saying squash your emotions. I'm not saying hide your emotions, bury your emotions, do not feel emotions. It's important. I'm saying experience them and then thoughtfully let them go. Thoughtfully let them go. The purpose of life is to live it, to taste experience to the utmost, to reach out eagerly and without fear for newer and richer experience. That was a quote from Eleanor Roosevelt. A. Apprehension. The worry of what if? What if I look foolish? What if I get embarrassed? How about this? Well, how about this? What if you never try something new? Has that ever happened to you? Were you apprehensive about something and then you regretted it? Then the next conversation you're having with yourself, because you're talking to yourself, is why? Why me? Oh, poor me. Oh my gosh. Why didn't I take action? Why didn't I have accountability? Take responsibility for your action. I'm not talking about punishment for your action. I'm saying, yes, it's me, my mistake, my doing, my good work. Accountability goes both ways. It really does. And really own what you're doing, what you're saying, what you're emulating, and the message you're giving your children. Oh boy. I could have, I should have, I would have, but the but is a big but. Because once you take that leap of faith and you gain the achievement, oh man, that will turn your life around. And that will make a difference for your children. It has long since come to my attention that people of accomplishment rarely sat back and let things happen to them. They went out and happened to things. That's kind of a funky quote, don't you think? Leonardo da Vinci. I mean, come on, guys. He was born in the 1400s and he knew this stuff. He was a painter, a sculptor, an architect, a musician, a scientist, mathematician. I mean, if you want to say polymath, that is him. He was so talented, but he took lots of leaps of faith. And I'm pretty sure people out there thought he was crazy, but hey, they're standing in line wanting to look at the Mona Lisa, aren't they? They're using his inventions every day. He did it. He put himself out there, and he didn't care if people thought he was weird. He didn't get embarrassed. No more apprehension. You have to lead by example. And that brings us to our rejection. No one, and I mean no one, wants to be rejected. But if you don't partake, you can't be rejected. So, isn't that a better idea? And I would say no. I would say no because where does that leave you? How about thinking of a stepping stone instead? And what I mean by that is for every no you hear, every door that closes, and every time you were picked last to be on the basketball team, and I'm the first to say that was always me, picked last in everything at school ever. So, you can think about it. Reflect on how much closer you are to the reward. It's a stepping stone. Trust the process. And if you don't believe me, well, believe Walt Disney. I'm pretty sure everybody out there in the universe knows who Walt Disney is, a household name. He was a man who was fired from his job because he lacked creativity. Can you imagine if he would have believed that? Can you imagine? I don't think the world would be the same, would it? He did not accept that thought, nor the obstacles that continued on his path through life. And he was rewarded tenfold, and because of him, our lives are richer. And he said, all our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. Treat each day as an opportunity to put your best foot forward into the future with focus. A little bit of a tongue twister, isn't it? Continue to explore and use your emotions as energy in motion in order to gain the experience you need. To meet each day with anticipation, not apprehension, and advocate for your children so their aspirations become accomplishments. Oh my gosh, I just love those positive words. And finally, take time to think. Truly think. Think about what is important. What is going to change your life? What is going to make a difference in your life? And who may you be imprinting on? Be cognizant of that. Because reward has infinite possibilities and comes in many, many forms. Rejection is a stepping stone in the river, not a reflection in the water. We are all born with a gift, and we are all born with purpose. Life's journey is to hone and develop that gift. As purpose changes within, think focus, experience, achievement, and reward. When you're feeling fear, just turn those words around. Turn it around. You are a warrior and have a clear vision through your own lens, not someone else's, and need to set an example for those you influence. Raise your children on purpose. Raise them well to live fearless. And to all the warrior dads out there today, well, happy Father's Day. because you have an important job. Do not stop thinking of life as an adventure. You have no security unless you can live bravely, excitingly, imaginatively, unless you can choose a challenge instead of merely competence. It's paraphrased from Eleanor Roosevelt again, and I think it's very timely because we're all in this together. Let's face it, without fear. Live well. See you soon.